Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about Instagram's new policy on photoshopped images and how it could affect your art. Yes, your art. And you may say, wait a second, like Photoshop, Instagram, do they have something to do with me? If you are an artist, you use both Photoshop and Instagram, yes, it has everything to do with you. Make sure you watch this video because it's something serious and it's something definitely coming. So the news says that I read on The Verge, Instagram is hiding faked images and it could hurt digital artists. It caught my eyes because this is something big and serious. Instagram is the go-to social media for millions of artists around the world, and suddenly they say no to photoshopped images or retouched images, then it could mean that Instagram is taking the livelihood away from hundreds of thousands of artists who are selling their art and promoting their art on Instagram. And it's not something fun. It's not something that you want to hear like at the beginning of 2020. It's saying that since December 2019, Instagram is hiding photoshopped images from the explore page to combat fake news and wrong body ideals. Instagram is not the first one who is combating wrong body ideals or this kind of promoting body positivity. The government of France has a long time ago banned the photoshopping of a female body. Like it's no longer allowed to make women look skinnier or like bigger in the right places. It's no longer possible because they want the young generation female and males not to have let's say unrealistic expectations of how female body should look like. And that I totally agree. On the other hand, Facebook is combating fake news. That is no longer news to us. We all know that they've been trying to fight fake news using AI, the team, investments, so that people won't panic for nothing around the world. It's okay, also something fair to do. And this time it's the Instagram's turn to do something nice, and they decided to say no to Photoshop. The problem is there are a lot of collateral damages. Photoshop is a tool. It can do good, it can do bad. You can Photoshop women's bodies in the wrong way or right way or however you call it, but also you can just use it to make art. And many visual artists, digital artists are making good things. They're not trying to give wrong ideas or to trick people. No, it's not what it's trying to do. I'll give you an example. Artist Alleyway is a performance artist in China and is a longtime friend. I mentioned him in several videos. As you can see, this is his art. He had been flying for all his life, in the sky with a cable, with a big crane, with harness, and I've been flying with him for the past, 10 years, more than 10 years. And because of that, I know very well how he used Photoshop. You can see that in the end results, there are no harness. There are no kind of cables or other kind of machineries to lift the body, and you can just see him flying in the air. Of course, people can say that, hey, it's a photoshopped image, take it offline. The thing is, he wasn't trying to trick people thinking that he was a god or he was like a Superman trying to have the superpower, trying to deceive people. No, he's trying to create a cleaner visual image. He's trying to make his art a little more pleasant by wiping out the cables. And a lot of times I wear the harness under the garment, but whenever not possible, I have to wear outside for safety. I have to wear like very thick harness with padding so I don't hurt myself with the hanging. Guess what? He wasn't making my butt look bigger or make me look hotter. I still look miserable in the air hanging there like blown by the cold wind. So as you can see, it's very hard to say when is right, when is not. And you can just say you cannot retouch the body, but he wasn't even retouching it in a way that you think he would normally do, right? Or would some artists would do. I don't know if you know about The Onion. It is a parody fake news channel, and they're creating fake news for fun, not for making people panic or trying to promote certain kind of wrong ideas. It's just crazy, fun, humorous, and it's so much fun that the first time when I saw it, I was like, oh my goodness, it's out of this world. And guess what? It came in a really good timing. Digital media, internet had already been established and fake news wasn't a thing yet, and they could make a thing like that and make it explode. Today, if you try to be the next Onion, imagine if Onion didn't exist and you try to make the Onion, it would be flagged as fake news and it will be the end of your news career. So you cannot do it anymore. Instagram is not going to be the last social media to ban Photoshop and retouched images. And if this is the tendency for real in 2020, then you really need to think twice about what you would like to do. You, of course, can say it's bad, let's fight it, let's fight for the freedom of expression. The thing is, Instagram, like many other companies, is not owned by you, right? You're not a stakeholder. You don't have a say. And probably you're still using it as a free user. You don't have the political power, the monetary power, or the legal leverage. And we are nobodies. And how can we react to this tendency, to the new policy? I give you 4 advices. As an artist, of course, you can take it head on and go to the streets and protest, but I think there are better ways to react to this so you can take advantage of this tendency and be ahead of the game. Advice number 1, show behind the scenes videos and photos apart from the end results. Of course, if you just show the end results, it can be confusing. They didn't know if you were just composing the images or it was for real, or maybe people think that you had wrong intentions. Then you can make, let's say, a stack of images or a video. So you can say, hey, I'm making art, I'm flying with cables and a crane, and then this is the end results. See you next time. And this way people can understand you, you can have a larger following because you're showing the creative process, and your newsfeed will be more interesting because you are giving extra value to your audience. You're not just giving them the end, but you're giving them the whole story, the big picture. It can be a lot more engaging to share than just your art. So share the process, share behind the scene videos and photos. Number 2, use some visual tricks such as in-camera tricks or makeup or whatever you can do, like the old Hollywood times before they had the special digital visual effects. They had this kind of science fiction movies. They are painting the backdrops and doing the stop motions. They're doing fake explosions, and it's not effects, it's not Photoshop, and you can do that too. If you want to look in a certain way, you can use body paints, makeup. You don't have to use Photoshop to achieve the results. You can go closer to the results using production tricks, not post-production tricks. Of course, this is only valid for performance artists and photographers. I'm not saying that this advice is for everybody, but there is the next advice is try to adapt your art style to this new tendency. For example, artist Liu Bolin has been painting himself with paints and disguised with the background, and you can see that he's almost invisible, and people think that he photoshopped himself, but no, he painted himself. You can do it in a way that you do not need Photoshop. Photoshop is a good tool. It's a quick way to fix things. But if you do the long way, right, not the quick way, maybe you will discover a new art style that is more intriguing, more interesting for the viewers too, and you can find your unique voice instead of like one click button on the Photoshop. My last advice is don't use Instagram as the only social media. Try to find other things such as TikTok, such as Facebook, YouTube. There are many other social medias you can use to promote your art. Don't put all the eggs in the same basket. Make sure that you even out the risks. If one day Instagram banned your account or erased your posts for photoshopping, at least you'll be able to log into another social media and start promoting your art, and you will not be stopped by this incident. Having social media accounts is great. It's majorly for free and is a good way to promote your art, have a community, have a dialogue, but having a website is also very important so that you are in full control of your communication. You take the steering wheel so that you're not like deleted and falling a victim in a certain way, like a policy change, like the COPA change that I mentioned in the other video not long ago, that YouTube changed the policy and many YouTubers will lose their revenue because of this. Guess what? If you have your own website, this would not happen. So have your website is definitely a key to having a more consistent and reliable communication and outlet to sell your art. Alright, that's all for today. Thank you very much. Let me know if you are hesitating to promote your art on Instagram or what kind of concerns you have for 2020. Let me know in the comment below. Thank you very much and see you in the next video.